YouTube family, this is Mark from Marks for Marks. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for taking this time and sharing it with me. I know your time is so important. I always say that I can waste money any day of the week. I don't have any time wasting money. One thing I hate wasting is time. So for you spending this time with me, I truly appreciate it. I thank you everybody who has shown me love and got into my comments and emailed me and text me, and I appreciate it all. Today, we're going to be talking about studying strategies. I have said often in several videos when I talk to people, coming out of high school, I was partially illiterate. This is why I always tell teachers and educators and young people, do not let anybody put any limitations on you. I could read pages, I can read words, but I couldn't comprehend it. Consequently, because I couldn't comprehend it, I chose not to read it. It was a skill that I chose not to do. I chose not to read often. And then when I got into college, that my deficiency was brought into my face when I got into my first ELA English 101 class. Because I did not read often, because I did not pick up that skill, I chose not to do it, and I did everything to get around it. Young people and people who are in writing, you typically write how you talk. And how I talk was, I had a very strong southern dialect from South Florida, and a lot of the words were ebonics that I would use. So if I say the, I was really saying D-A. If I said what's up, I was really saying W, like what's up, W-A-S-S-U-P. And my first English 101 class, that did not fly at all. My teacher looked at my paper, and she must have picked it up and looked at it like this. Like, what is he writing on this paper? My paper had so much red on it, I thought it was bleeding. So that then discouraged me to try to avoid writing classes. But really the bigger issue was not that I so much could not write. It was I could not articulate myself on paper because I did not spend enough time reading. So for me, reading has always been something that has been a love-hate relationship. I can read, I have no issue with reading, but I had to develop the skill set of reading consistently and then using different strategies to help me with the comprehension of the text. What do you mean comprehension? When I'm reading it, can I understand what I'm reading? That is something that is so crucial when you're reading a text. So the first strategy I would give anybody who may not like reading, who do not enjoy reading, who have a hard time reading, first, find something that you enjoy reading. It doesn't matter what it is. Find something first that you enjoy reading. Why, Mark, would I find something that I enjoy reading? Because if you find something that you enjoy reading, you're more apt to read that on a continual basis. What I started off with in college, what I enjoy reading when I first got saved and first got into church was the Bible. I could not read the dust, the dials of the Bible, so I had to scale it all the way down and get a very basic Bible. But I enjoyed the stories of the Bible. I enjoyed learning. So as I read that text over and over again, I started to be able to make those connections in my mind. Now, this is very infancy of my journey of reading. Currently, I have 2 master's degrees, and I'm working on my doctorate. So I have had a long journey with this, but I don't want you to be discouraged. I would just say, if you have a difficult time writing and you have a difficult time reading, as far as comprehension is concerned, understanding really what you read, I will first say find something that you enjoy reading. For my young people, find a comic book, a video game series, something that you find enjoyable, because as you read these items from an author, they will start to change the way you talk, change the way you speak, change the way you look at things. So again, number one, find something that you enjoy reading. Second, what I do when I'm reading a text that's very dense or very heavy, a lot of information, what I do, like this book that I'm reading now, The 9 Virtues of an Exceptional Leader, I will go into the table of contents. I will read the first chapter. So the first chapter says, you can't see it, but the first chapter says, why virtue? As I'm looking at why virtue and I'm reading what's in the book, and I'm not going to lie, this has happened to me, real life stuff. I will start reading a book, and in the midst of the book, my mind will start to wander. Anybody that knows me knows that sometimes I get hungry. I'm a big man. I like to eat. So as I'm reading, I start to get to the 15th page of the first chapter and say, what did I eat today? I feel so hungry. This is ridiculous. What am I doing right now? But my eyes are still reading the text. My eyes are still going through the text. So in those times, I have to refocus, reread what I just read, and don't just try to skim through it and speed through it. Reread what I just read, and then make a connection with, okay, well, what I'm reading now, does it fit with the title of what it says in the content, the table of contents? Because in the table of contents, that where they put number 2, chapter 2 is going to talk about that. More than likely, everything that you read in that chapter will revert back to their original claim of why virtue. So when you're reading, when your mind starts to wander because the text gets so dense and it gets so overwhelming or boring, I'm not going to lie, some things you read are boring, you then need to reset, refocus, and reread. You like that? I like that. Reset, refocus, and reread what you just read, because sometimes your eyes are moving and you look like you're reading, but your mind is not connecting with it. So that's the second step. Next step that I do often is that while I'm reading this, I have this with me, and I have some type of highlighter with me. I have a difficult time writing information and then going back and remembering what I just wrote for a few reasons. Here's just me being transparent again. I don't write well. When I write, it looks like chicken scratch. I just write so fast, I don't remember exactly what I wrote. And I'm reading like, did I say the dog just crossed the... What was I thinking at 2 o'clock in the morning as I was reading this? I don't know. So what I do is I type out... I was doing it on the desk, you can see. I type out what I just read, and I take quotes from there. I put it into my laptop, and then after I'm finished reading the text, I go back and reread the text that I just wrote or typed. Now you might write it, you might highlight it. The issue I have with highlighting is that sometimes when I see people's books that they highlight, it becomes like you're just kind of like making a whole coloring book out of your book. I mean, you highlighted every word, and I asked you why you highlighted it. You have no rhyme or reason. It just felt good at the time. So now, you're taking your time and you're like highlighting everything, and your book has turned into a coloring book. We don't want that, right? We want to be able to comprehend what we're reading. So what I do is I'll write it down, or I will type it up, and then I will put the title of the heading for the chapter, and then I go and read the quotes that I've read, and then make a correlation between, okay, does this answer this question? Does this coincide with the title of the text? Last thing I do is I talk it out. As you may notice, I enjoy having conversations. Anybody who knows me knows that I like talking. My whole family, they know that I like talking. They see my phone number come up on their phone sometimes, and I think they decline me on purpose. It's unbelievable. I don't mean to digress, but I enjoy talking. So what I would do, after I read something, I would then talk about it, or I will apply it to a situation. In time past in class, what they'll force you to do is take what you've read and apply it to a real world situation. It forces you to now take what you have written and make it applicable to the real world. Or you can just talk it out. Once you talk it out, you got the information. Say, okay, this is about this. This is what they're saying. This is what they're trying to say. That is how what helps me comprehend dense and tough text. So if you're like me, that started off, that don't like to read often, but know that you need to fix some grammatical errors in your speech, grammatical errors in your writing, or you want to be a better writer, or you just say, hey, listen, I have a difficult time reading, I don't do it often, but I would like to develop that skill, then I hope these strategies help you. Please leave a comment, show me love, whatever your thoughts may be. Subscribe, like, share. Until next time, this is Mark from Marks and Marks. Peace.